Tuanze.
Yep.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And today I have a very special guest. Utajiintroduce, utuambie wewe ni nani?
Yeah. Hi guys. My name is Hannah. I am Amanda's friend and cousin, and yeah, she introduced me to this segment. She introduced a new segment on her channel, so that's why I'm here to give my thoughts and my opinions on the matter. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope it'll be fun.
It definitely will be fun. Now today's conversation is about things they didn't tell you when you're growing up.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, it is. So, do I start us off, ama uanze?
Start us off, and I'll just see what comes to mind.
Haya.
Okay.
Let me think. The first one they didn't tell me when I was growing up is that life is not linear.
Oh my gosh. I was thinking that.
Because I remember when I was young, I used to think that life will get better when I grow up. Money-wise, career-wise, that love is automatic like this. So it ends up being climbing, like we're going Life is a joke. Life is a scam. It robbed me of my dreams. Because it is not like that at all. They don't tell you about the hardships, the tough times.
Yeah, that's so true.
And then you don't see your parents struggle. I think parents wanajifichanga kwa bedroom, you struggle.
Yeah.
So you don't see it. So you don't know in life if you'll get struggles and things like those.
Or how to cope.
Yeah, that is the tough time. Or how to cope, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the first one for me.
I think I have to agree with you because nothing in life is linear, like nothing at all. Progress isn't linear, development isn't linear, relationships are not linear, like nothing in life is, maybe to a degree your education, because then, you're going step by step, you go from one grade to another, or from one class to another, from primary to secondary to undergraduate, postgraduate. I feel like that's the only thing about life that's linear. And if you use that as a reference point, you'll be sorely disappointed. Because out here in the real world, I don't know. I feel like there's this checklist you have, or at least it's conditioned into you. You go, you study, make something of yourself, work hard, get good grades, pass your exams. If you want to pursue like a postgraduate, pursue a postgraduate, then in your head, you think, okay, automatically after that, I'll get a good job. It'll be high paying. I'll be living in a place like I don't know where, driving what, you have this idea what your life will be. And then you finish school and it doesn't go like that. Like there's either a pause, there's people who are lucky and they just go straight into the job market, but there's people with them in between. So during that pause, you begin to realize, oh dear, like there's so much stuff I don't know. There's so much stuff we didn't address. A big one I'd say is probably discipline, like the importance of discipline in real life, not just to study and get good grades. In real life, when you're an adult, someone is telling you what to do or how to do it, or giving you that push you used to get when you were younger. And also, there's lots of topics they don't teach you, I feel, unless you have like a very specific type of education, a very specific type of parents, where like money management, emotional intelligence in relationships, your love languages, conflict resolution at the workplace and relationships. Yeah, pride and ego and how it affects your friendships and your relationships, your family. That not all families are perfect. Some families are dysfunctional. There's so much stuff I feel that's just hidden away. I don't know if it's our culture. I'm not sure, but there's just so much stuff that we don't talk about that's important in like your day to day and how it affects who you are as a person, I think. Yeah.
That's true. I think it's our culture, it's our
Yeah.
education system.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like tunatupangwa tu kwa world after university.
Yeah,
We're
just
like, after university, after high school, most people
yeah.
are like, oh, I'll go university, wengi wako. The universities are out there, so you don't live with your parents.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, now go do life. You haven't been taught
Yeah.
about finance, haven't been
Big
taught
one.
about socializing with others,
Socializing.
kwa shule ya watu wawili. So,
True. Private versus public, different dynamics.
there's so much, gosh.
But
And
there
one,
is so much.
kwanza finances. Let's talk.
Oh my gosh, things I don't tell you about. Did they tell you anything really?
I've
To be
never
honest,
been
'cause
told anything.
I try and think back. I think the only thing, and it was much later in life, was save. Like save your coins for a rainy day. But that's it. That's the extent of your financial education. And I'm just here to say, like, there's so much more to it than that.
There's so much.
Yeah, and a large part of finances and spending is emotional. Nothing, I don't think anything about money is rational, to be honest, because most people think you spend rationally. You actually don't. A lot of it is like brought about by your emotional state, and also your mindset. Like if you have a scarcity mindset or if you have an abundance mindset, if you are a miser to a degree or you're a spendthrift, those are things that, and also your upbringing. If you came from a place where you didn't have much or you had things in excess, it can affect your spending or your saving. So finances is such a big, oh my God. I feel like you should like get into school, and by like maybe class 6, they should start teaching you about finances, because goodness gracious, they need to teach you about and also I think to encourage you to not just be a spender, like having a spending mindset. I think we should be encouraged to have a I need to make money mindset. Like I need to go out there and see how whatever I have can multiply and, give me space to get more in the world. But we have very much a spending mindset. You're at home, your family, your parents, for the most part, try their best to take care of your basic needs. So maybe as they struggle day to day, they don't really consider like your financial education. But thank God for the internet, because then the older you grow, the more you can have those interactions with people to a degree. You can go online and see people similar to you probably and learn about saving and investing. For me, investing, I learned about probably much later in life. I wish I'd learned about it when I was 18 or even 16. I feel like you can go a very long way if you start early. It's just that you don't have that emphasis on the importance of that. Sorry, my phone just went off. So yeah, finances is a big one. They don't teach you about growing up, how to budget, how to invest, what portion of your income to save, or like not to get caught up keeping up with the Joneses and go broke trying to maintain a lifestyle you can't afford. And it's real, it's really real, especially in our generation of social media where comparison is, I don't know, everywhere,
It's everywhere.
Yeah,
that's a good point. And to add more on it, the investment part.
Different vehicles of investment. There's just so much stuff that is useful to you as a person, that the earlier the information gets to you, the better. But I don't know. I don't know where it usually is between a certain age set. Perhaps your mind isn't there yet, or you're just not exposed. Because I know younger people, much younger than I am, who have a very like money conscious mindset. So it really has to do with like your environment, I think, growing up.
Yeah, exactly. Because I remember once in high school, there's this girl who came. I remember she came in. She was my, what is it called? Not bedmate. What do you call them?
roommate, banker.
Roommate, because I had roommates.
Yeah.
Mate, I remember we had a conversation once in high school,
Mhm.
and she was like, I remember it was after the holidays.
Mhm.
She came and told us so happily, my uncle has helped me invest in stocks.
Are you
I remember,
kidding?
yes, I remember that
Oh my
conversation.
God, high
So
school? That is
she was like,
amazing.
high school, she was like, hey, wase, nimeanza kuinvest. I was like, invest in what? In
Like, what
stocks.
is investment even at that age?
And
What is stocks?
niko like, okay, maybe I need to start thinking investment na pesa
Yeah.
gani saa hiyo.
Yeah, I know, because you have no money. We're talking about like regular folk, not a different, there's kids who have lots of money, like just, different lifestyles, different how you've grown up. But I was broke in high school. Broke, flat broke. What exactly was I investing? Because later on, I would think about it and say, okay, like in a year, I don't even think I could save like 1,000 bob in a whole year. That's how little. I think used to get like 200 bob pocket money. So
Kwani did our parents talk to each other? We were getting
200 as well. Oh my God. I thought I was the only one. So you can imagine your small
no,
expenses in school. By the time you leave, maybe you have like what, 50 or 150. And that's what I used to save. That's the funny thing. That's what I would, I used to
wow.
just go home with the 150 and
Yeah.
each term. So you can imagine in a year, and there were 3 terms, you have 450 at the end of the year.
I
And
think
that,
even for us to save is the fact that we used to call it max.
yeah,
Otherwise, you
sure.
didn't. There
Otherwise,
wasn't a
you're
need to spend 200 bob
yeah,
sana.
high school was busy.
So
So yeah, you have
I
450.
think that's a whole different topic. High school is just a whole.
High school is it's a whole video. It's a whole video on its own. But yeah, at the end of the year, you have 450 and you put 450 in your savings account. But later on in life is when you realize savings accounts, the return rates are so small, but you are full adults by the time you realize this. I just feel like we should do better by the next generation in
We
terms of making
should.
them more conscious, about how early you can start, as early as you can, like learn about the vehicles as early as you can, learn about your risk appetite as early as you can. Because I feel like the younger you are, the less of a problem risking is, to a degree. So you're
That
able,
is true.
because you don't have family or kids or like school fees or stuff like that to impede your investing. But the older you get and the more dependence you have, the more, I feel, to a degree, you have to be conscious of what you're doing because you have mouths to feed. So
Yeah.
we need to do better. We need to do better by the next generation.
Yeah, that's true. Another thing I know I did not learn when they did not tell me when I was growing up is people are not who they seem to be.
Oh, okay. How so?
Yeah. Um, when I grew up and started learning about relationship and friendship dynamics is when I realized, oh, okay, someone can be one thing and then on the other side they can be another
Okay.
thing.
I get you.
So I came to learn, I came to learn about betrayals. I came to learn
That
about
was a tough one.
friendships, genuine friendships,
Mhm.
genuine people, but most people, no, see most, please don't quote me on that.
Don't add me.
Some people are not who they seem to be.
Yeah.
So, um, and it's tough
It
because
really is.
when you're younger, your friends are just, they're genuine. You
Yeah.
watch and you play together. There's nothing
There's no agenda.
that is exactly, there's no agenda. But when you
Yeah.
grow up, wait.
So true.
It's a mess. It's a mess.
It really
How
is.
People are also breaking people's hearts because of the gender.
Yeah, that's
There's
true.
another aspect to it, family and
Mm,
agenda. Because strangers and agenda is a different thing. But when it
yeah.
becomes family and agenda, that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
And that's where you develop trust issues.
Yeah. Oh God. Yes.
Issues.
I feel like you just hit the nail on the head. Oh my. Because listen, when you're a child, everything is butterflies and roses. Honestly, I feel like I had like that type of childhood. I feel like it was very Disney, very living in a bubble type of childhood.
Yeah,
And you're right. When you're kids, like what agenda? You're out there, you're playing, you fall, you cry, you share lollipops. Like there's no agenda.
yeah,
It's innocent. And I feel like I had good friendships. I still have good friendships, but right now it's more you cultivate them. Like you decide, okay, I can't go in in this direction with this person because maybe they don't feel genuine.
Mhm.
But you're oh man, that was a tough lesson. That was a really tough.
I it's
Because
tough.
I feel like the kind of personality I have, I'm very like optimistic and like I see the good in people and like I don't know, I expect how I treat people will then be reciprocated and
Which
wow.
is almost never the case. So
It's oh wow. Oh man, I think that broke my heart for real. Because I realized
yeah.
you're not always going to get the same energy from people and then I'm the kind of person who now is to a degree very, very accommodative and very, very understanding. Sometimes to my own detriment, I think. Because then I'll be
How that
like,
for
why,
you?
yeah, like, why is this person behaving in this manner? Could it be goes through mental lists of anything or everything they could be struggling with? And, you know, to a degree, it's hard to find your people, and genuine people are hard to find. And I
Yeah.
that's just how life is, you know. Well, at
Yeah.
least until Jesus comes back for us and restores restores the earth. But until then, we're going to be
Yeah.
struggling with people who say one thing and do something else. We're going to be struggling with people who have their own struggles and then project their internal battles onto you.
Yeah.
Whether or not you're aware, you're going to be struggling with should I let this person go or should I hold on to this person? I think that's just how it's always going to be until there's restoration.
Yeah,
Tough
that's true.
one. A tough one. I'm glad you brought it up.
So
Mm.
ni well there, right?
Yeah, you
So
have
you're
to.
somehow you have to
Oh,
guard
I have a
your
good one. Yeah, I have a good one. Like, what's it called? Just referencing that. They do not
Mhm.
tell you, or rather, you don't understand the importance of self-awareness until you get to such a stage in your life. Like, goodness, I try and remember myself earlier. No, I feel like I've always been self-aware, or I always try to be self-aware because personality, I've always been the person with 100 questions about everything and anything, including why I feel this way about this thing. But
Mhm.
really, I feel like the older you grow, the more you realize um, that not everything is black and white, you know?
Exactly. There's
Black and I was very black and white, like if if else, either or. I was never
mhm.
like there were no grays in my life.
Yeah,
Everything was like so I feel like I was so certain at a certain stage in my life about everything. I had a plan, hallelujah. And then, it gets to certain stages in your life and things don't go according to plan and it's heartbreaking. And then you realize, oh, hold on. Um, these aspects of who I am, I thought I knew 100%, but then I
mhm.
hadn't yet experienced something maybe traumatic. Then
Yeah,
you start learning other things about your personality and how you cope with it's just this whole thing. And I realized the other day that you'll probably be learning about yourself until you die because you'll be going through
yeah,
experiences until you die. So there is no age where you'll get to and you'll be like, I've learned everything I need to know about myself. No, there's no such thing. And I don't know why I thought this was a thing when I was younger. I think Disney that by this age I will know everything and I'll know how to cope with everything. And problems will be coming, but I'm just going to be sailing through because Jesus. And
I know. Yes.
Listen, struggles are coming. The struggles are coming. Do your best to find out who you are. Find out the kind of what makes you you. And I know that's extremely big, so I'll try and dig deeper. Find out aspects of your personality that, like how you cope with certain situations, why you act, what your emotional reactions are to certain situations, and what triggered that reaction. I think it's also important to have a good support system. Extremely, extremely important. I cannot, don't, I know there's introverts out there and you're thinking you can do life alone. I'm an introvert and I'm here to tell you, you can't do life alone. It's a lie. You need people. You really do. And you realize you need people when you're going through it. So invest in like good friendships and a good support system and in your own self-awareness. Find out your personality types, find out your love languages, find out how to communicate and articulate your feelings clearly and effectively. Find out how to communicate in a way that doesn't ruffle, I don't want to say ruffle feathers, because to a degree there's communication that has to happen in that way, but learn how to communicate in a way that the other party will understand. Oh my gosh, put your pride and ego aside. Pride and ego, please, just I don't see where it helps in life. It doesn't help in any relationship. I kid you not. And I remember we had this conversation the other day when I was telling you, I feel like to a degree, Jesus came to help us understand the importance of relationships in our lives and like good, wholesome relationships, and how to be kind and loving and appreciative and accommodative of even people we don't see eye to eye with. Otherwise, he probably would have come as a celebrity or a rock star or a politician or something out there, but he didn't. He came someone who you probably would have passed in the streets, according to Isaiah. He wasn't attractive. No, he wasn't the guy you'd be like, wow. No, Jesus was an ordinary guy. Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't. It's in Isaiah. Let me.
For you?
Yes.
What does it say?
Let me get the specifics, because I don't want to blaspheme. So yeah, Isaiah 53:2. Let's see. Let me get I like NIV, but I don't know. For he shall grow. Let's see if I can get the NIV translation. Wow, KJV is always so like pass. Isaiah 53:2. So he grew up before him like a tender shoot and like a root out of dry ground. He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him. Yes, nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. So
wow.
Fun fact.
That's interesting.
Yeah, fun fact. Jesus was not the guy. He was that guy who was just passing the streets. So yeah, hey, this movies we see where he's just, oh my gosh, Jesus is so handsome. It's a lie.
So this movie is just lying to us.
It's Disney all over again.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I think another thing for me, they didn't tell me when I'm growing up is that a woman's body changes in season and in time. Um, the way you are the way you are now is not maybe the way you were at 19, at 20, at 21.
100%.
In terms of skin, in terms of
Hair.
at energy, what hormones, hormones, things.
So true.
It changes all the time. And apparently, a woman's body changes every 7 years. Fun fact.
Oh, really? I didn't know
So
this.
even me hata mimi nijua juzi tu. So when you're 14, when you're 21, when you're 28, when you're 35, something changes in you. It may be your hormones, maybe you'll realize your periods may become heavier or not heavy. Something changes in terms of skin, even obvious. In terms of weight,
Sorry,
and let's not speak
just
birth, that is obvious, it will change.
yeah.
So
Sorry.
yeah, I wish you told me something substantial just to prepare my mindset.
I think okay. I think I could correct me if I'm wrong though. I think when you're young, you don't ever think you'll age. I think you just think you're gonna be young forever. So you don't even consider the fact that you could be changing as you go along. It's just this, I guess it's the arrogance of youth. You really just think you're gonna be the same until you die, which if you're conscious enough to observe the people around you, that doesn't happen with anyone. But you're right. You feel the changes, like you feel your body's changing. I feel like especially with like energy and fatigue and how you bounce back from like things when I don't know. I feel like if you're younger, the younger you are, the easier it is to bounce back from things, including disappointment, things like that. But the older you get, the harder it is. And you're right, your body does change. It really does. So young people who are watching this, your body changes. Trust me.
Our mothers had these conversations with us.
100%.
At least ukiturn a certain milestone, maybe 21 is a milestone, and then maybe the next one is
probably 28, 29 there.
Exactly. I feel they're important conversations to have. You don't just find yourself.
Not prepared. When something changes, you start to panic, and it's nothing to panic about. It's just a different stage, and your body is making adjustments, and you go with the flow to a degree because it's how you naturally progress. Like you'll see your skin, the elasticity will change. For me, it was energy levels. Like when you're exercising, if you don't watch it, you are going to injure yourself. You just don't have that agility you had. I consciously at the back of my head think, oh my gosh, so how is it gonna be like when I'm 50, when I'm 70? Because take care of your body, man. You only have one. So be kind to it and nourish it well. And I'm really bad at taking water. So I'm really trying to force myself to drink like water. I'm very good with diet. That's it. I've always been very good with diet. Yeah, I'm very into greens and smoothies and just healthy things. And my sisters call them carrot type meals. I like them. I enjoy them. I like salads. So sumi. Yeah, I don't like
chakula za sumi.
Yeah, chocolate. Yeah. That's my jam, you guys. I like those things. I hate junk food. I really hate junk food. And you remember I was telling you, Yeah, I can't stand it. I remember I was telling you, me and potatoes have some kind of, I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know
I'm
what
like, who even likes potato?
I don't know what potatoes did to me in another life, guys. I don't like potatoes. I don't like fries. I don't like them grilled. I don't like them in any form. I think mashed potatoes is the only kind of potatoes I can forgive. But every
Mm.
other form, I kid you not, it's a task for me to eat them. It's like, God, again with these potatoes. I don't know.
Wow,
I don't
that's
like
really
junk.
nice.
Yeah, and I don't like
Mm.
junk. So I think to a degree, I'm lucky in that way because then
Yeah.
I don't honestly I don't like junk food. And every time I say that, people are like, she's so oh, guys, I just don't like I just don't like junk. I don't like sodas. I don't like yeah,
Wow.
I don't take alcohol. I can't stand it.
Mm. Hey, you ought to live long. We need to know.
From your mouth to
That
God's
is
ears.
rare
Yeah, but that's
because
not
out here we can struggle.
yeah, but
Eh?
that's not to say that if you like those things you can't live a healthy life. I believe
That's
like everything in moderation. If you do like alcohol, just don't be out here, I don't know,
yeah.
drunk in ditches, your body is not gonna thank you for that. If you're into
Mm.
junk, like I don't know, have a junk day or something. If you're into potato, don't know, have a potato. I don't know what
Yeah.
people who like potatoes do. But yeah, take care of your body. You will appreciate and your organs will appreciate it later in life. Yeah.
Mhm.
And talk, you're right. We should talk to these are things we need to now do for the next generation.
Yeah, we are taking
A
notes.
big
Why? Yeah,
responsibility.
that's true.
Mm,
Hey, another, I don't know if this one is the same as the financial discussion we had,
mm-hmm.
but nobody told me that money is fleeting. Me, I used to think that
But what were
that's
you
what we
thinking?
can. I don't know. May I think I was living in a fairy
No,
tale.
you have to explain this. This is hilarious. What do you mean? Do you think
May I to be honest, I've never seen my parents struggle financially. Ama they never showed
they
up.
never showed you? They
There's
probably
no,
did.
yeah, there's no one time I asked for something and they were like, no, hakuna do.
Mm,
No. And
really? Wow,
yeah,
girl, you are
like,
living the life.
so I didn't know. So I didn't know. I thought when you grow up, money just increases somehow as the age continues.
There's just a money tree somewhere. Hallelujah.
Somewhere.
The
The
money
ukienda
tree.
21 pesa, 22 inaendelea 20 until you reach like 50 and then you're
I
now
love
loaded.
I love this. I love this.
At,
I love this abundance mindset.
at no point did someone burst my bubble and tell me it doesn't matter if you're 20, it doesn't matter if you're 50, money can be scarce at any point in your life. Aki,
Wow.
nilikuja find out the hard way.
I feel like
Life is so cruel. Eh?
I feel like for you there was bound to be disappointment in a way. Because what is this life you are leading? Okay. I can't relate. Okay, maybe to a degree. I knew from very early on that in life that there was no money tree. Oh my goodness. My parents, I feel like that's all they ever said. There is no money for wasting. So I grew up knowing, okay. First of all, wants versus luxuries versus what you actually want. I had a lot of no's as a kid, money related, so
Yeah.
many no's. In fact, we half the time I was like, my there's no money, which is ironic, yeah, which is ironic, but it got to a point I actually stopped asking for stuff because I had no so many times. No, 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 no. Because money, I knew money was for needs. Money was not for luxuries. This to things that you
Yeah.
do. I knew money was for, but you're right. I never did think that you could be 50 and broke. I thought I
Exactly.
thought all adults had money.
Had
I thought
money.
that just came with being an adult. The ignorance. Exposing your privilege. This is exposing privilege. Yeah, that's just exposing your privilege. Because listen, if you grew up in a different environment, I feel like you would know.
Mhm.
Yeah. And you're right, parents do,
Yeah.
at least in our culture, they hide a lot, especially with suffering,
Mm.
financially,
Yeah.
even emotionally, physically. They hide, because they don't want you to.
Yes.
Which goes to my next point, which is uh,
Mhm.
things they don't tell how to be how to develop your emotional intelligence, I think, at least in our culture. I don't know. I don't know if this is just subjective to me, but oi,
Yeah.
this
They
African
don't
culture.
know. I think
Parents,
it's because they also maybe don't know how to themselves.
I feel, yeah, I think so, yes. I think it's also their upbringing from their generation. But I think it's,
Yeah.
to a degree, I feel like it's sad because you're a human being, you have there's different parts of you, okay? There's your physical, there's your spiritual, there is your emotional. Let me give you a minute. I can't hear you. Okay, so there's like this, sorry guys, there's physical, emotional, spiritual, intellectual. Um, there's different types of there are different facets to who you are as a human being. Okay.
Mm.
But I feel like in African culture, I could be wrong, but I can only speak from my experience. I feel like you're taught to suppress your emotional side, and
Mhm.
I don't think that's anyway. And this is coming from someone who's not like wildly emotional. For those of you who've done like the Myers-Briggs personality test, I am an INTJ, A, assertive. So I over time have learned how to like develop that aspect of myself, the emotional aspect of myself. I think when I was much younger, it was very wanting. It's just because of environment. African parents are always right. They never
Of course.
apologize.
Oh,
There are no
hey,
apologies in African households. You know,
never. And you
eh,
can't challenge their
you
opinions.
cannot
You will
challenging
die.
opinions is rude.
It's rude.
It's considered rude, and you're still like, mama, way. These things affect how you interact with people later in life. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
emotions are not discussed openly. It's just they just aren't. You're expected to just deal with them however you deal with them. And
yeah.
also, yeah, relationships are not discussed. I got the boys are evil narrative for a majority of my life. And then it gets to a point where now they flip the switch. But your brain,
Mm.
at least my brain, doesn't work like that. It's hard for me to just flip after years and years of conditioning. Like,
Yeah, being told boys are bad.
yeah, like it's gonna take a while. But all
Yeah,
I can say is there's nothing wrong with being um encouraged to be hardworking and ambitious and self-reliant, but that's
mhm.
not all there is to who you are. And it's
Yeah,
important to do that early on in life so that you can grow, like growing different aspects of your life. Emotions are important. They dictate, I would argue, almost everything. Just because you suppress them and you shove them away doesn't mean they aren't there and they aren't affecting who you are and what you do and how you spend and the relationships you have. Yeah, take the time to find out, to have a healthy emotional state, whether that's
mhm.
therapy or, find out the things that bother you and where they come from, and then communicate them clearly to others so that they're not triggering you in ways that they don't even know they are, triggering you. And that
Yeah.
is your responsibility to know yourself. It's your responsibility to then communicate that to others and to set the kind of boundaries that you need for your well-being with others. That's on you. So
Yeah.
take the time, take the time, take the time. Emotions are not, they're not shameful or things you should forget about. They're important and they contribute to you as a whole being. And take the time, take that, just there you take time to build yourself spiritually, physically.
Mhm.
Actually, take the time to build yourself up emotionally and practice emotional first aid when you're down, when you're going, like those are things they don't teach you. And they're so important because when life hits you, that's the stuff that'll hold you up. That and just God's good grace.
True. I think our parents downplay how much life is,
100%. Yeah.
and maybe it's for a good reason. I mean, why would you burden a
Yeah.
10-year-old?
10-year-old, 16-year-old. It's a
Right.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot, but it's also deceiving. It's also
They didn't intend to deceive. I feel like they were just acting from their own like point of
for our own
experience. Yeah.
interest.
It's from their own point of experience, probably because that's how they were parented. So then that's how they parent. But yeah, do better by the next generation is what that's the challenge now to us. Because you see
Yeah,
all
that's
these things and you're like, I really wish I knew this earlier. It's then your responsibility to make sure the next generation, like you do better, but you prepare them a bit more. You can't always prepare, someone for every single situation in life. So to that degree, I feel like they did their best. And
mm,
yeah, you live, you learn, and you try your best for the next generation.
that is true.
Yeah.
And went spiritual. Something they didn't tell me when I was growing up is
Mhm.
that um, God is real. I don't know how to put it in words, but si tulipelekwa church, tulipelekwa Sunday school, and
Mhm.
you're being always told God is real, Jesus is real and everything. But
Yeah.
I think when you're younger, it's more of a construct, it's more of it's not something you experience for yourself.
Mhm.
So for me, my spiritual journey
Mhm.
imekuja when I'm older, and
So
it's because I've cultivated it, and I've come to see in my day-to-day life that
true.
actually God is real. Like you see the miracles, the small miracles every day, then you realize, yeah,
Mhm.
okay, there's a spiritual side to this world, and there are
Mhm.
spiritual things and things like those. So
Mhm.
I wish I was told. I don't even know what I wish I was told, to be honest. Because,
I get you.
yeah, I feel like it's something you have to experience yourself. So, I don't know. But I came to realize that, let me just put it, God is real.
I feel like I can talk for days about the subject. I can have a whole seminar on this subject. Like I agree
Woo!
100%, and I'll try my best to explain why I think we have that problem, or rather, like it's a
Mhm.
common problem because I feel like we approach Christianity like schooling. Okay. You
Yes, 100%.
and you take them to Sunday school where they will be taught whatever you're taught in Sunday school.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is also the problem of religion versus actually having a relationship with God. And I feel like
Yes.
that you learn older. When you grow older, I don't think you have the capacity for it as a child. I think as a child, perhaps you could just build your child in like what Christianity is, what it really is, okay? Not that you need to get saved so that you don't go to hell. No.
Yeah.
Which was the narrative, scare tactics. No, that's not a relationship with God, because
That is religion.
that's not religion. That's I feel like when you're a child, there's only so much you can digest intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually, but it's an opportunity to start them on the right path, like really explore the basics of Christianity, the character of God, sin, what sin did to us, how we experience it through everything in the Old Testament and the New Testament, the signs and wonders of God, his plan to send Jesus Christ to die on the cross, and why that was important, and then also what God's plan is for the future of Christians. I feel like you go to Sunday school and they teach you really nice songs, which you will always remember, and that if you sin, you will go to hell. That's not the basis. Not a good Christian foundation. So you treat it like a lesson, okay? You don't treat it like a lifestyle. You put it with all your other lessons, your maths and your geography and your music and whatever else. Then you put your Christianity there, because you go once a week, and no one teaches you that it's a relationship you have to work on with God every single day, and every single morning you have to wake up and trust God afresh and new. Okay. And then there's also like the aspects where they don't teach you that once you become a Christian, it's not all your problems will evaporate and you'll just be sailing. I listen, I was sailing through everything. Everything I was just sailing through. Disney, I call it the Disney lifestyle. I thought life was just new. You sail through everything. Who is this child? Which explains why I was such a happy child. Everything was just sailing through. So yeah, it's you have to, oh my gosh, and Christianity, listen, is hard. It's hard to be a Christian. And I don't think they emphasize enough that it is hard. Like it's a difficult choice to make. It's a choice you make daily. Like God isn't a consultant in your life. You are day to day doing this together and learning. I still struggle with this, learning how to yield control. I know we've had this discussion before. Control, yield control to God, and controlling, leaving everything to Him and trusting that He'll come through. I struggle with this as a Christian. I can only imagine what else people out there who non-Christians are struggling with. But it's a day to day. And you're right, God is real and He's always been real. It's just that awareness that you lacked I don't know, I feel like you were just there living in your bubble of what life. And then the sad thing, I've always said the sad thing, the things that bring us closer to God are usually tragedy. I don't know why we're like this as humans. It really bothers me. It really bothers me that we're like this as humans, that when things hit the fan is when you're just like, oh, Jesus is Lord, help me. And then when your life is smooth sailing, again, back to God as a consultant. Why are we like this? It really bothers me.
I don't know.
Sorry, I think it's to a degree also being an immature Christian. Like it's still part of the walk. Like that's maybe how we start out. And then hopefully with more like spending time in God's word and learning and the sermons and just saturating yourself with the word of God, I feel like that will change in time. Just don't give up. Yeah. God is worth it. God is the only constant in life. He never changes. So while everyone else will just straight. Yeah.
Hiya. Me, I think that's all for me. Unless you want to add something else.
I think this video is like 10 hours long at this point.
How long is it on your end?
It doesn't show. It doesn't show.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine? So we could have just been speaking for like 3 hours here. And we can, but they were so good at that. Hence the series.
But it's good to talk about these videos.
Yeah, it makes me feel a bit lighter each time. And you know me, I'm very good at like at least I try to articulate my thoughts very clearly and to share what I really think and to try also get that from someone else. I like deep conversations. Deep conversations, they nourish my spirit. So I enjoy being here and talking to you.
Acha, did you tell the people what this segment is about?
Oh my. That's
because you're going to talk more on deep issues.
Oh, okay.
On sometimes.
Yeah. What is this segment? It's just real conversations about real topics that we face.
Factory people, by the way.
Yeah.
Not the fake.
No. Just real topics that face people every day from the perspective of just an ordinary person. With no, just an ordinary person. Yeah. So that's what this segment is. Deep conversations about topics that come up every day from just a regular person.
Yeah, that is very true.
Good. Yes. We didn't have a definition in the beginning, and now we have one. Hallelujah. This was very like, like
conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know. Any topic.
It went really, really, really well. So much better than what we thought. So I'm happy about that. Me and my shiny cheeks are very, very happy about that.
Anyway, that's good. Thank you for coming. As if you're not going to
the
next conversation.
Here to stay, boo.
Roots.
Give me a space right there.
But thank you for your points, for everything. Thank you.
Anytime.
For coming on.
Anytime.
Hi, as you tell the people to subscribe, Basi.
Yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, comment down below, like, share, and subscribe, and please be back for more.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can do this one.
All right.